will be talking about the third food group of my plate, the grain group. We will also learn how to choose and include whole grains in our daily food intake. We are going to discuss how eating whole grains keep us healthy, learn how to plan and choose whole grains at least half of the time, and we will also learn how to use the nutrition facts labels to make the best choices when selecting grains. The 5 food groups in my plate provide important nutrients that we need each day to maintain our health and prevent diseases. Grains provide energy, dietary fiber, B vitamins, and minerals like iron and magnesium. Some examples of grains are wheat, rice, oats, cornmeal, barley, or another cereal grains. Grain products are bread, pasta, oatmeal, breakfast cereals, and tortillas. So what is a whole grain? So right here we have a model of what a whole grain looks like. It has 3 parts. The bran, which is the protective outer layer, and we call it dietary fiber. We have also the germ, which is a small part of the grain rich in vitamins and minerals, which is this part here in the middle. And then we have the endosperm, which is the largest part, contains mostly carbohydrates. When grains are refined, the bran and the germ are completely removed. So we lose dietary fiber, we lose minerals, and we lose vitamins. Refined grains are usually mostly carbohydrates. Some examples of refined grains would be white pasta and white bread. As we have been discussing, whole grains are important because they have more vitamins, minerals, and more fiber than refined grains, which reduce constipation, the risk of heart disease, and some types of cancers. So how do I know if grains are whole grains? As we were reviewing before, we have to make sure that a whole grain has 3 parts. So as we saw in the display, it needs to have the germ, the bran, and the endosperm. So these are all examples of whole grains. But when we're buying things in the supermarket, we gotta make sure that we go a step farther and read the ingredient list. So you will find in the nutrition label, you will find the ingredient list at the bottom of the nutrition facts. And I'll give you a quick example. Here we have a sample of a slice of bread. On the right hand side we have white bread, and on the left we have a whole grain bread. This is made out of wheat. So if we go to the ingredient list, we're going to see that it says enriched white flour, which means that it's not a whole grain. If we go to the left, it's going to say whole grain or whole wheat flour. This means that this slice of bread was specifically made with whole grain flour. And that way we are ensuring that it has the germ, the bran, and the endosperm. Do remember that all whole grains are healthy choices even if they contain less than 5 grams of fiber per serving. The vitamins and minerals in the whole grain will contribute to a healthy diet. So how much grain do we need daily? In order to answer this question, you need to refer to what's on your plate handout as part of your materials list. In it, you will find that on average, we need to consume around 6 ounces of grains per day. This is on a 2,000 calorie diet. So what is an ounce equivalent? An ounce equivalent, we're going to see some examples, but it's basically the amount of grain food that has the same nutritional value. Let's take a look at some examples. So examples of 1 ounce equivalent are half of a small bagel, 1 slice, in this case we have whole grain bread, half cup of cereal, ideally make that cereal whole grain as well. We have a 1.5 ounce muffin, that would be an equivalent, a 6-inch tortilla, or a half cup of pasta. Now this could be also whole grain pasta. So what about children? For children between the ages of 2 and 12, the recommendation would be 3 to 6 ounce equivalent. Half of this should be whole grain. So remember, if you have a very active child or a child that's older than that, it would be more than that. So please always check with your pediatrician, but make sure that half of the grains that your children are taking into consideration when they're eating are whole grains. As part of today's lesson, remember to read and review your 10 tips handout of make half of your grains whole. You can choose 1 or 2 10 tips for you to put in practice for yourself and in your family. Make sure you apply this on a weekly basis.